Earlier this month in Indy, Minnesota bringing home the WBIT championship, topping Belmont 75-63 behind Trinity MVP Tori McKinney's career-high 26 points. Gophers finished the season with 25 wins, became the second straight Big Ten team to capture the WBIT following Illinois, which won the inaugural tourney last year. Here's head coach Don Plitzuweit with Kylan Mills.
Coach, great to see you. Pretty good start to the month of April. Your group winning the second ever WBIT championship. What did you see from your team during that postseason run?
Well, I thought our young ladies competed at an incredibly high level, had a chance to do it on the road, had a chance to do it at home, and then on a neutral site. So any opportunity you have to play in a single elimination tournament and advance and get to a championship is really, really special. And I thought our young ladies capitalized on that opportunity.
One player who definitely capitalized in the title game against Belmont was freshman Tori McKinney, leading your team with a career-high 26 points plus 3 steals. What impressed you about her growth throughout the season?
Well, Tori is someone who plays with an incredible amount of urgency. She plays so hard. She plays so fast. And what I thought she did during that championship game especially was she slowed down a little bit and let the game just kind of happen naturally and didn't force anything and, and kept herself in the game for the most part, not too much foul trouble. So the game started to slow down a little bit, and I thought she was just having so much fun. Now, if you watch her halftime interview, she still talked as fast as ever. So she does play fast, talk fast, does a lot of things with that urgency level.
But she had some good answers during the halftime interview. I did catch that. It's on social media. Great stuff from her. Now, as you zoom out and look at this entire season, your Gophers get 25 wins for the first time in 20 years for this program. You do all of that after losing your leading scorer, Mara Braun, just 5 games into the season. What did you see from your group in terms of overcoming that adversity and maintaining focus as the season progressed?
Well, it's a great question, and I think when I go back and I look at our season from the beginning to the last game, just the overcoming all the adversity that our young ladies overcame, from Mara's injury to Taylor Woodson's injury, to then we had different stretches with the flu or some different virus where we're not really sure who's in practice, who's not. And I just think, and then the challenge of the new schedule and all those type of things, I thought our young ladies really continued to get better and played our best basketball as the end of the season was upon us. And I think that is really a tribute to our young ladies and their character and their toughness and their resilience.
Well, the good news is most of your players, or at least a good portion of your core, are coming back next season. They're not going anywhere. When you look at Amaya Battle, we already mentioned Mara, Mallory Heyer, Grace Graholski. What are you looking forward to most, and what do you feel like the ceiling is for this group looking ahead to next year?
Well, I think our young ladies understand now at an even higher level the urgency, the relentlessness, the discipline, all those type of things that it takes to be successful in this now biggest, best conference, I think, ever in the history of college women's basketball. And I feel confident saying that when you look at this year in the Big Ten. I think there were 13 teams in the top 45 of the net, 12 of them in the NCAA tournament. We were fortunate to go on, advance, and win the WBIT. So you look at that, it's the most ever in the history of college women's basketball. So I think our players, I'm excited because I think we understand at a whole nother level what this looks like. And I really, truly believe that our players are very hungry to continue to get better.
Yeah, you mentioned the new landscape, not just the expanded conference, but the transfer portal has been chaotic these last couple weeks since it opened. What is the offseason like for you? Like, what's next on the agenda after winning that WBIT championship? Because there's no rest anymore for head coaches.
Well, there's really not. There is no off season really, except that there's a different type of busyness. Now, instead of our busyness being game prep and practice prep, it is trying to find the right players to come join our program. And that's something that, we spend a lot of time really in researching and getting to know the young ladies to make sure that our culture stays exactly where we want it to stay and continue to grow and continue to get better, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course, totally makes sense. And I know looking at the person is just as important as looking at the player for a lot of head coaches like yourself. 2 years for you now under your belt at the helm of this Minnesota program. What piece do you feel like fell in place in terms of building what you want to build at Minnesota? Like, where do you feel like this group took a step forward this season?
Well, I thought last year our first year when Mara was injured, we had different players step up and play at a higher level. I thought this current year, when we faced that same type of adversity, I think those players were more experienced, and I think, again, continued to get better as the season wore on. I look specifically at Mallory Heyer. Her last two games, we're watching her in the semifinal and the championship game, snagging 15, 16 rebounds. You know, Amaya Battle in our come-from-behind victory against Gonzaga had 35 points and 10 assists. You know, so I just think that our players who have been with us have continued to grow and develop, and that's just two examples. So there's certainly a lot more than that, but I think our players are continuing to get better, and that's what's really exciting. And I think that continued growth and the excitement and the energy and the hunger to continue to get better is something that's really important for us.
You got a feel for Mara dealing with a broken foot back-to-back seasons. Just curious, how's the recovery process going? What are the latest conversations you've had with her?
Right. Yes. And extremely. You're not going to find someone who loves basketball more than Mara Braun, or someone who competes harder, puts in more time. And so for her to not be able to compete in the last two seasons the way she wants to is just heartbreaking for that young lady. Now, with that said, I think she has great faith and great conviction. You know, she's been working her tail off. She's in a spot right now where I think she's very, very close. We're going to get some more testing done within the next week and, you know, see where she's at. But, you know, she feels really good. She looks really good. I know the last few weeks in practice when she was in there passing or maybe getting a couple shots in on her own, I thought, man, she looks really good. It'd be really fun to have her back out here. So excited to have her back next season with us.
Coach, that's quite the tease. We're very excited to see her back on the floor. Really quickly, before I let you go, now you just won a championship, so I have an idea of what this answer might be, but what was your favorite memory from this year's team? Is there a story or anecdote you could share?
Oh, that's a really good question. A favorite story from this season?
Yeah.
You know, I just think the first day that we got together in June, I think we started with some team building at that point in time. I think the way the summer kind of ended, we had a day at the cottage, and then in between, we just had so much fun together. When I go back, I was actually looking at a video that we're getting ready to show to recruits who come on campus, you know, of all the things that we do together outside of basketball, and it just warms your heart. We couldn't put them all in one video because the video was too long. We had to cut out like the Christmas party and the cookie making and the dress-up contest and all those kind of things, because this group is a group that really just loves being together and spending time together, and it's infectious. It's really something that's very special, and we're really thankful for that.
It was so much fun to watch. It definitely was infectious. I love talking to your players. They're like, we love Donnie P, Donnie P.
Yeah, that nickname, I'm telling you, it's something, isn't it? But they have fun with it. We have fun with it, and we just kind of roll with it. And, you know, I love these young ladies. I think they compete their tails off. On top of that, they're outstanding students in the classroom here at the University of Minnesota. They're great role models, great in the community. So, you know, I feel like Tori's interview at halftime should be kind of what this team is. You know, she's just running around trying to talk really, really fast, and that's just kind of how this team played. And I think that's the reason why this program is going to continue to grow, because we have such special young women in it.
Well, congratulations on all the success this season. Really excited to see what this group accomplishes next year, and it really, really was a joy to watch your team all season long. Thanks so much for the time, Coach. Or
Sounds
Donnie
good. Thank
P.
you.
Can I call you Donnie P? We're on that level
There
yet?
you go. Great.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you.